Hello everybody, and welcome back to Planet Coaster, and welcome back to the winter project. Yeah, it's been a while since the last episode, actually not that much, but just a few days. But yeah, I don't know how long winter will last, so I try to speed up a little bit, and also I have to speak about a few things in this episode. So this is first of all the footage from the Saturday live stream, which was a little bit spontaneous. You've seen on Monday I haven't had this live stream, which is mainly because I'm not into my old routine yet, since that's always, you know, at the beginning of the new year, some things have to be, you know, get back into position. My wife, she hasn't got her band on Mondays yet. They start next week. I've got not my football training at the moment, which starts today actually, so I'm just recording that in advance of my football training and to record that and deliver this video to you. And also a few other things, so I'm not back into my Monday rhythm, but I hope to be back next week, Monday, and from there on until we move to the new flat, at least we can keep that. I believe that in the kind of moving time, which will be about 2 weeks at the end of March, I'm pretty sure that there won't be too many videos or streams at all, but you know, that's quite far away. Maybe I can do some stuff in advance and then just have it all online, but hey. So what are we doing in this video? We are basically building the station, which is in the town, down in the little town. It's been very tricky. I've talked about that quite a bit in the stream, and I'm going to tell you here what my problem is with this build, or actually it's not a problem with the chairlift in general, it's more like a problem how I laid out the overall area here. So I still wanted to make the coaster station and the coaster the hero of this area, but the problem is to kind of cover up the overall system of the chairlift, like the technical stuff and all the gears and all the wheels and all the kind of steel stuff and so on. You need to still make a building kind of big, and what you can see here is I was adjusting then the chairlift, since I needed to bring that lower to the bottom. In general, I wanted to have it raised up a little bit, since that is basically how a chairlift or like a lift or a gondola works. They are always a little bit raised, at least a tiny bit, where the thing goes off, since you don't want them to crash into the bottom part, and most likely you do have also a little pathway or stuff in front of it, so that's mainly why you would have a little bit of a step in there. I kind of went now in and yeah, I just missed out on that step, so that means I have to relocate the coaster, which we're also doing later on, and all these kind of things to lower it all down, to maintain the sideline of the coaster. This was basically the main challenge about this building. I wanted to keep it simple, I wanted to keep it enjoyable to watch at, but still not to be too prominent in that area. It is really a really hard task to do, I have to admit. It is really tricky. There are a few things about the building I don't really like, since it's yeah, I don't know, it looks too much like a barn a little bit, but I can still deal with it, since you will see in the end that this whole project is more like about a cinematic approach. I said this a million times now, but I really want to remind you of that, since it's really a process of doing something, and you will see in the end why I did all the things how I did them. It's really hard to talk about and not to talk about that at the same time, but one thing I can really say is there was something that just came out of nowhere, at least for me right now. I don't know if you've seen the video Very Little Gaming shared about a few days ago, I should say, since I have no idea when this episode is going to be uploaded exactly, where he used reshade to achieve some awesome looking shading effects in the game, and this is basically a golden thing for Planet Coaster. I played around with it for Isla Napali already, so the next Isla Napali episode will already benefit from these effects, mainly in the cinematic though, since they are a little bit hindering when you are playing the game actually, so I will maintain the normal default lighting and shading of Planet Coaster, but for the cinematics, oh gosh guys, this is unbelievable. It makes the game look a million times better. It's seriously crazy, and for me, it's a little bit of a roulette thing, if it does work for you or not, since it's kind of a mod, so to say. It really goes in deep into the code on the shading system of a game, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. For me, I have the big luck that it seems to work just fine. I even don't have that big of a performance decrease. On Isla Napali, we're talking about like 2 frames or something, so it's still still very enjoyable, even with like 2,000 guests in the park and I don't know, everything running, and I don't know, it's really still above 30 FPS even with the shaders, which is awesome. And as you know, I'm still saving up for an RTX 280 Ti, I should say. I really hope once I get this beast, and I hope this will be by mid of this year, then we should be able to at least run all the projects a million times better. But yeah, that's kind of voices or sounds of the future, where we are not right yet. So let's talk about a little bit more about what I'm doing here. So with the reshade, we will be able to achieve a way more winter-ish look over here, which I can't wait to achieve, since, as I told you in the last episode, this is the one thing I really don't like about these different biomes. They do look awesome and they do feature awesome textures and stuff, but they not really deliver another feeling, right? I mean, yes, they have kind of a different lighting scheme, if I see that correctly, which is not dramatically. I mean, the textures do change a little bit, but I don't know if they have a different HDR sphere or something, but there is not that huge difference. So it's not that it's feeling cold over here, or that's feeling hot in the desert area, or that's feeling kind of temperate in the temperate area. So it's always kind of the same lighting, which is always like super awesome blue sky with a tiny bit of clouds and nothing too major about it. And this is the thing which reshade can really change, and I can't wait to do this with this map, especially to get us all into the vibe. And yeah, in the end of the video I will try, though, maybe we can then in the next episode of this one over here, by the way, there are potentially only 2 more episodes of this project here, maybe even just 1. It depends a little bit on how quick I am with the last couple of buildings. So yeah, it's definitely something to consider. As you may have seen, there was just a little bit of a blank of my Discord channel in the background, so if you're not a member of Discord, that's what you can expect there. I'm just kidding here. I just totally forgot that I recorded this time, not my game source, but the whole monitor source, which was down to the fact I couldn't get Bandicam to record this for whatever reason. You see some awesome drawings over here from the lone it was Foliage, I guess. I'm not quite sure who that was, but awesome drawings. This is also the reason why I kept that in. I really liked the drawings, so I just a little bit of a shout out here for him. So if you want to see these kind of stuff, make sure to join my Discord. The link is in the description below for all of those who want to get in there. Also, there is basically the biggest discussion area for Isla Napali, and also for various screenshots of my projects, work in progress screenshots, and all these kind of stuff. If you're interested in that, go ahead and click the link and join the Discord. Boom, that's it. Yeah, as you can see over here, this is basically how this all looks, and you can also see a little bit of a moving rabbit over here, which is a kind of a little spoiler. I also left in also a moving duck. This little rabbit has been done by Crabzone, who's still doing some awesome stuff for this channel and for this build, and I can't really talk about too much, as I said, but yeah, you will see. I think we are, you know, I had some spoilers in the last couple of episodes and also in the live stream, and we are getting closer to what I'm actually doing. It will look awesome. I have some approval already from, for example, the lady designer Silver Red and also Fog. I shared some stuff, some work in progress testings with them, and they're also like super excited to see how this turns out in the end. So yeah, I can't wait to share that with you. I'm still very optimistic to make this by the end of January, and then it will be there will be kind of a switch. I think this kind of project here, the winter project, will be kind of replaced one by one in a very, hopefully very smooth segue kind of thing by City Skylines, which I can announce that City Skylines will finally return. It seems from the last couple of weeks testing that I finally have made it and kind of created a game system and a kind of setup that really seems to be working stable. I think I've downloaded everything I need for the project, and I think I have understood everything I needed for the project by now, and it seems to work the way I hoped it would work. So yeah, it's always a little bit of a struggle with City Skylines, I should say. But I'm pretty optimistic this time that we can keep this up. As always, I'm preparing a few more episodes now at the beginning, so that I at least have a little bit of stuff prepared before we go into it. And then yeah, this project also will be community driven again, not as much as Isla Napali, but definitely more than this one over here. So it hopefully turns out to be very interesting for you guys in general. Also Parkitect, don't worry, it's also continuing. I just didn't find the time to finish some of the scenarios to show you, but this should return also in this week and then also continue kind of quickly. Yeah, all these kind of things come together right now. As you can see over here, I'm also putting in a little bit of realism, or at least I try to make a little bit more realistic machinery or kind of technological system at the back of this chairlift. I didn't want to keep it that empty, and then I found out that we can use basically a pathway to make a little bit of a nice, yeah, cover, I should say. It's kind of a cover, and I haven't used the path yet to make kind of architecture out of it, but yeah, it's maybe not that dumb actually, since the paths do also have a little bit of a nice geometry and they don't really cost that much of a performance. So I think I just kept this in here. How you can see that, just changed a little bit of how these things look, but yeah, it gives it a little bit of rustic look, and you can't really achieve something that smooth with the wood in the game. So yeah, why not use it? And I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. But yeah, so now the last things of this video now are about changing the coaster. I was trying to make an inversion here, but it doesn't really work out. So it is just a little bit of the last couple of frames of this video until I will show you some of the cinematics, hopefully with the new reshade shaders activated. And maybe I'm even going to do this like a before and after effect. I think that could be very cool. Yeah, gonna see how I do this, but I'm pretty optimistic again that this will work. But hey, that's it about this episode, at least for my commentary. Now I'll leave you alone with the last bits of this footage and then a little bit of cinematics. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope to see you in the next one, also in the next Isla Napali and all these kind of stuff. And yeah, let me know how you like this episode and like this video in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time. Until then, bye bye.
We should be hiding out wherever we may find